Andy and I we're talking about the other day because Grim and I used to be on a podcast, and Robert would show up on that podcast every once in a while called Deja Redo. That podcast miserably failed. It was a lot of fun, but it miserably failed. But I was talking to Andy about it one day, and he's like, hey, how can we incorporate our love of cigars? Because me and Andy have been smoking cigars, I don't even know how long now, but with each other. Yeah, and even, keeping in touch. Well, since he moved out to Louisiana because he used to live in Georgia, when he moved out to Louisiana, we would keep in touch via, Skype or whatever, service we had
video
at the time.
Chat. Generic video chat.
Generic
video chat. That's it. Yes. Insert title here.
Exactly. Whatever was free at the time. And we would, have video calls and smoke cigars. And we decided, both of us, that why don't we do a podcast about it? Why don't we do reviews? Why don't we have a good time? Because we're just hanging out here talking about cigars anyway and talking about just whatever we want. And we just turn into a podcast. And then we pitched the idea to Zach. Zach was like, I could do that. I like cigars.
I also like
I'm a sucker for punishment.
Yeah, and then we were like, hey, Grim, do you want to get in on this? And Grim's like, yeah, he said no at first. And then I threatened to beat the shit out of him, and he still said no. And I said, please, please, please. And he's like, give me cigars.
Yeah, that was really, if I didn't get
there
free
were other
cigars,
favors
I wasn't
involved.
doing it.
There were other favors involved. I just can't go to that extent on the live. That's what I'm saying. We're live. I can't go to that extent yet.
It's illegal in the state of Georgia to talk about it.
It really is. And then, of course, Robert's like, hey, I'm just getting into cigars, but I'll do it. So I was like, okay, let's do it.
Like, fine, whatever.
So all of us got together and we just started doing, the leaf cutters.